World-famous YouTubers make lots of money. I don't think anyone would be surprised by that statement, but every now and then a YouTuber manages to make the leap from online entertainer to genuine business powerhouse. For one YouTuber from the UK, he's managed to make that leap and then some. KSI, one of the most influential YouTubers in the history of the platform, is well on his way to becoming a billionaire. But how does he do it? Today, we'll be going over the financial genius of KSI. KSI was born in 1993 in London. His father's from Nigeria, while his mother's from London. From an early age, KSI knew that he wanted to be an entertainer. While the YouTube economy was nowhere near as developed as it is today, he had a huge passion for creating content. He started using this passion to create YouTube videos in 2008 under a different name, but by mid-2009, he'd created the official KSI channel. On the channel, he began to post what would soon lead to his big break: FIFA commentary videos. For the first few years of his YouTube career, KSI was not earning anywhere near enough to go full-time. He enrolled in a sixth form college, and he was pursuing furthering his career while hoping YouTube took off. At the time, he was earning £1,500 a month from content. This was more than his teacher at the time, and he decided at that point he would drop out to pursue content full-time. YouTube was not the powerhouse it was today, and the idea YouTubers would become some of the richest people in our day and age was an insane concept even in 2014. That didn't stop KSI from pursuing his passion, and by the end of 2014, not only was his personal brand exploding, but the sidemen were gaining a large following as well. This was also when he began to expand his revenue streams outside of ad revenue, beginning to release merchandise and clothing to help generate income. 2014 was a great year in terms of KSI's career, but 2015 would really kick the entire earnings portions into overdrive. He released an autobiography in the UK and the US, continued to post content, but beyond those two, also added another impressive income stream to his column: music. By this point, he was already well ahead of most content creators in terms of streams of income. He was making money from his channel, his merchandise, his sponsors, the sidemen sponsors, sidemen merchandise, music, his books. Already, as you can see, he had money coming in more ways than most. Music, however, is a great tool to generate passive income. Sure, there is a lot of work that goes into making a song. However, its replayability cannot be understated. If you sell a hoodie, you sell that particular hoodie one time, and people don't tend to rewatch YouTube videos 50 to 60 times. However, with a song, you can easily stack up 500 to 600 listens over the course of years from each person who enjoys your song. You'll be getting consistent plays on music for years to come. Think about how many artists to this day are still raking in considerable earnings off of their discography from decades ago. 2016 had more of the same, with the sidemen releasing a novel as well. He continued to release music and even ended up in the 69th spot on the UK charts. There was also an acting debut squeezed into the year when he and Casper Lee starred in a direct-to-DVD film together. KSI even tried breaking into the mobile app space in 2016 with an app which has since been removed. But compared to 2017, these years seem irrelevant by comparison. Going into 2017, the sidemen were some of the biggest names in YouTube entertainment and still are, so they decided to use their influence to their advantage and use drama to drum up more publicity. In late 2017, KSI announced he was leaving the sidemen due to beef with fellow member Ethan. They proceeded to drop diss tracks on each other that today have tens of millions of views. This built an absolutely insane amount of buzz around the brand, with people choosing sides and paying attention to every post. YouTube drama's nothing new, but the genius of this comes in what was said after. In November, KSI said that the drama with the sidemen wasn't entirely real or entirely fake. While it's impossible to know for sure, considering almost all sidemen members who participated ended up gaining huge amounts of views and subs, it wouldn't be far-fetched to assume most of this was set up as a publicity stunt. That isn't an insult either. If that is the case, it was an absolutely genius way of building attention not only for the sidemen but their individual brands as well. This would already have been a huge boost to an already impressive amount of income, but that wasn't the only new venture KSI got involved in throughout 2017. He also was one of the first YouTube stars to hop into the boxing ring. He and Joe Weller began to talk up a boxing match between the two that was scheduled for early 2018. While now it seems internet boxing matches have become the norm, at the time it was nearly unheard of for an influencer to challenge someone else to a boxing match. KSI won this match with a technical knockout and declared himself YouTube Boxing World Champion. Following this victory, he released an accompanying documentary about his training process of how he became the boxing champion. At this point, the man had money coming in from so many places it was probably getting hard to keep track of. Between all of his ventures by this point in 2018, he already was well over 10 different streams of substantial income. The Joe Weller fight in 2018 was a huge step for KSI, but by mid-2018, an even larger fight was put into his path. Logan Paul stepped up to the challenge of trying to become YouTube Boxing World Champion. This fight garnered even more attention and hype than the first, and by the time it occurred and the draw was announced, they'd both become considerably richer. While concrete numbers aren't known, the rematch between the two was thought to have made KSI $900,000 richer. These live boxing events were an easy way for KSI to make a huge amount of money in a single night, while also promoting his video and music career at the same time. It seems JJ has learned that by keeping people talking about him, he can consistently expand all of his business ventures. Since then, he's participated in several boxing matches, all of which has garnered massive amounts of attention. From the start of his path as an entrepreneur, things have changed quite a bit in terms of the influencer economy. KSI is one of the very few YouTubers who's managed to create a career capable of spanning decades. When he began, there was really no easy, proven path to making millions of dollars as a content creator. A lot of the income streams influencers take as a given today simply did not exist at the start of his career. By 2020, his trajectory had been well established between his content, sidemen content, music, boxing, and his standard business ventures. He had quite a bit on his plate. It didn't stop him from having several new ventures while pursuing his main income streams. For example, in 2021, the sidemen released a subscription service, a restaurant chain, and a vodka brand. While these may not be comparable to his other income streams at this moment, they're new ventures with potential for massive growth. Even if these new ventures are not profitable at first, by this point KSI is generating millions and millions of dollars a year in profit. While no proven numbers are known, most estimates place his yearly earnings well into the 8 figures. Somehow, though, he still wasn't done being an entrepreneur. Even with all of these businesses and projects on his plate in 2022, he announced he would be teaming up with his one-time nemesis Logan Paul to launch a drink company. Prime has done well in the United States so far, but due to KSI's popularity in the UK, it's done absolutely incredible. There are reports of Aldi and Asda stores being filled with people almost rioting for a chance to get their hands on the drink. Certain stores have been reselling Prime bottles for up to $100 to desperate fans. It even has become something of a status symbol amongst KSI fans to get their hands on a bottle of the energy mix. The drink does have some detractors, with Gordon Ramsay comparing it to drinking perfume. Even if some find the drink disgusting, that doesn't really matter to KSI's bank account. He has to be making an absolute killing off Prime. His channel has continued to grow while expanding all of these new ventures as well, and his music has become a part of the mainstream at this point too. He's had numerous songs hit the top 5 of the charts in the UK and is currently maintaining over 5.9 million monthly listeners on Spotify alone. Most people would be considered immensely successful if they had that large of a music following, YouTube following, boxing career, sidemen business portfolio, group channel, or drink company alone. However, JJ has managed to become an almost endlessly variable entrepreneur who can turn anything he touches into a profitable asset. He's well on his way to eventually obtaining billionaire status, and as Prime continues to grow in valuation, that becomes more and more likely. KSI is one of the visionary influencers of this entire economy. He's literally been around since the start of YouTube being a viable career path, and has influenced countless creators to follow in his footsteps. His business acumen goes well beyond the internet, and he's now branched out to become a business mogul. There's a good chance we'll continue to see JJ grow his business empire with time, and we wait to see what other business ventures he manages to get himself involved with. It may not have always been smooth sailing for the entrepreneur, but at this point it's safe to say he has a degree of financial genius to be able to build something so impressive at such a young age. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, comment down below what your favorite of KSI's businesses are, and subscribe and turn on notifications if you enjoyed.